Izzy's a terrible matchup for me, and I hate that fight. It is annoying, super annoying fight to go through.
Beating your opponents is one thing. Making them believe that you're a nightmare for them is another. And Israel Adesanya has made a career out of making people regret fighting him. But more impressively, he's turned his critics into his admirers over the years.
Sure, I inspired Izzy as he was younger, and he's inspiring me now. He drive inspiration through everybody. He was a f***ing gangster.
He was super gangster.
I think he is making a case for being one of the greatest middleweights ever, but the great Anderson Silva, I still believe there is some work to do for Adesanya to be considered as the greatest without a doubt. But he's making a case. He's been an incredible champion, and he is an incredible fighter.
While it's true that Adesanya is an incredible fighter and an even better champion, not everyone believes in him.
They built up him. They doesn't want to lose him like that fast. Finish that guy like without punches, and that's why they're scared. Then the story is dead, They don't want to kill that guy.
Opinions on The Last Stylebender are certainly divided, which brings us to the question, what do fighters actually think about Israel Adesanya? Before we find out, please subscribe to our channel and turn on those notifications. Thank you. Israel Adesanya joined the UFC in 2018, and since then he has been on a tear in the middleweight division, defeating every man he's faced, most recently his fierce rival Alex Pereira.
You have Israel saying, belt's great, love the belt, it's been great to me, da-da-da-da-da. I want to go in and put on exciting fights, and I want to do fun stuff, and I want to pull
And about 5 times a year as well.
Exactly. He wants to not fight nonstop. He wants to, he wants to pull off, spectacular moves in the fight and all this stuff. What's more fun than that, man? What's cooler than that?
In only 5 years in the UFC, Adesanya has fought 15 times already, averaging 3 fights a year. He defeated tough contenders like Marvin, Vettori, and Derek Brunson to earn his shot at middleweight gold at UFC 243, where he knocked out Robert Whittaker in the second round to silence the home crowd in Australia.
In the fight itself, in the years that since I fought him and the way that he beat me in the first fight, it just made him seem so much bigger than he was, so much better than he was. Like in my own head, that is. Now, don't caption this. Bob thinks Izzy's no good. He's a great fighter, phenomenal fighter. And that was a tough, to-the-nails fight. You could see how serious he was taking it.
Adesanya went on to defeat Whittaker in the rematch at UFC 271 as well. And he also defended his title against the likes of Yoel Romero, Paulo Costa, and Jared Cannonier to jump into the middleweight GOAT conversation. For some, he's already the GOAT, while for others, he still has work to do.
I honestly, RC, I think the word GOAT gets thrown around way too easy in fight sports. You gotta really, the only person that doesn't get passed is Muhammad Ali. And there have been really impressive fighters, but people recognize what Muhammad Ali was. Anderson Silva was to MMA what Muhammad Ali was to boxing.
Yes.
No, Izzy has some work to do to catch Anderson.
Cormier's point of view is understandable, since Anderson Silva's body of work speaks for itself. But that doesn't matter for Chael Sonnen, because Adesanya defeated Silva when the two fought in 2019, and that settles the debate for the Oregon gangster.
If we are at least down to Adesanya and Anderson, we've done a good and fair job as a community. Because those are the two, if we've at least got it down to them. I will tell you this. They fought. And it was a good fight. Adesanya won 2 rounds to 1. Everybody saw it the same as the judges. Adesanya won 1 and 3. Anderson won number 2. It was a valiant effort by Anderson. It was closer than any of us thought that it was going to be. It was a great fight. But that still answers the question.
Whether you believe Israel Adesanya is the middleweight GOAT or not, you have to admit that he's up there with Anderson Silva, and the margins between the two are very thin. If anything, Adesanya has all the qualities of a superstar, just like the Spider did back in his heyday.
He looks good, he talks good, he fights good. I mean, the guy's a superstar. He's got all the qualities that the UFC are looking for in a superstar, and he fights great.
Sure, Adesanya's great, but can he be greater than arguably the biggest star in combat sports, Conor McGregor? He definitely can, and you don't have to look any further than his octagon face-off with Dricus Du Plessis at UFC 290 to know that.
There's a different game being played here by Izzy. And you want to know who should be watching this? It's not Du Plessis. It's not the rest of the division. It's Conor McGregor. Izzy's coming for his spot. Izzy's coming for top draw in this sport, and he's not that far away.
Even McGregor agrees with Sonnen to a certain extent. Prior to UFC 271, this is what McGregor tweeted, and I quote, "I can't wait to see Izzy Style back in the octagon. He's one of the true remaining high-level fighter/performer athletes we have on the roster. He doesn't just fight, he performs." Perhaps that's why even some veterans of the fight game look up to him. For example, former UFC light heavyweight title challenger Anthony Smith once admitted that he copies Izzy in the gym. Quote, "I think he's fantastic. I like how creative he is. I feel like I always see him do something, and I always want to go back to the gym and try it. He's getting better and better. It's cool watching his takedown defense, his grappling ability, and just the new ways he finds to land shots. He's just a character. I look forward to his interviews, and he's unapologetically himself. He doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks about him." The great George St Pierre agrees with both McGregor and Smith.
He's fantastic. I watched his fight the other day. He's amazing. He's a perfect fighter. He's clean. He's great image. A great dancer as well. Very entertaining, and he's got it all. He's got a charisma and everything. He's a good role model, and he has his own style, in a way that he does stuff sometimes that shock people. That in terms of stuff he does after the fight, but it's all about like love me, hate me, but don't ignore me. And he has his own style. He's very entertaining, and we live in the entertainment business. We're fighters, but we're in the entertainment business, and our job is to entertain the audience, and he's doing it very, very well.
Being entertaining isn't always rainbows and butterflies, however. Sometimes it can lead to trouble, especially if you repeatedly say the N-word on live television and your soon-to-be opponent proceeds to call you a clown on top of it.
He's behaving like a clown in there. That's not how a champion behaves. That's not how a man behaves. He's behaving like a child. Conduct yourself like a champion. There's people looking up to you and you're behaving like that? Nah. If that sells tickets, good for him. I'll sell tickets my way. I'm a gentleman, I'm a man, and I'll behave like a man.
Recently, Adesanya admitted that he wants to beat Du Plessis up really badly for challenging his roots. A few months ago, the South African said that should he win a UFC title, he'd be the real African champ in the promotion, since Adesanya and the two other kings, Kamaru Usman and Francis Ngannou, spent most of their time overseas. Adesanya didn't like the comments one bit, but we'd wonder what he'd have to say about Sean Strickland's comments about him representing China in his kickboxing days.
Izzy, the Chinese, the true Chinese, they probably want to bring a real African back to the championship. Hey, can you guys believe that shit? Is that real? When he says, "Look at the color of my skin," did that really happen? Is that real? This fucking clown, this fucking loser, bro. They need to revoke your black card, bro. I don't even look at you like a black man. I look at you like the fucking Chinese.
Chinese or not, Adesanya has opened up as a sizable favorite ahead of his fight against Du Plessis, and he's expected to win fairly easily. If that happens, who would Adesanya face next?
For Israel, there's nobody there, only me. So money, if you spoke about money, if you ask the fans, they want to see me in Israel. And I'm a bad matchup for him. Everyone knows he's gonna lose the title. That's why they saved that guy.
With that, we have come to the end of our video on what fighters actually think about Israel Adesanya. Do you guys think Izzy is the middleweight GOAT? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. To stay up to date with the latest happenings in the world of mixed martial arts, please subscribe to Takedown MMA and turn on your notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.